Hi guys, it's Bex here and welcome back to another session with GoTots. We've been learning all about the different ways that you can praise Jesus. Do you remember them? We had marching and banging our drums while we march. We had waving our arms and our flags. We wrote a song and we sang to Jesus. We thought of all of the things that we are thankful for. And last week, we made a picture to remind us that Jesus is our good shepherd. And we thought of all the amazing names that we can call Jesus. Well, this week, we've got a few more things to think of when it comes to praising Jesus. So other ways that we can praise Jesus are by dancing and by shouting cries of joy. Yes, the Bible even tells us that we can shout. In Psalm 47 verse 1, it says, "Clap your hands, all you nations, and shout cries of joy unto the Lord." When we shout really loud, we block out all the other noise and it's hard to hear anything else. And when we're dancing, it's hard to feel sad and all it reminds you is of joyful things. We have Horace here again with us today, and he's going to tell us a story showing just how powerful shouting can be.
The gates of Jericho were closed shut. No one went out and no one came in. Then the Lord said to Joshua, "I have given you Jericho." And he gave Joshua a plan. March round the city once with all the armed men. Do this for 6 days. On the 7th day, march round the city 7 times, with the priests blowing the trumpets. When you hear them sound a long blast on the trumpets, make the whole army give a loud shout. Then the wall of the city will collapse. So Joshua called the priests and said to them, "Take up the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord and make 7 priests carry trumpets in front of it." And he ordered the army, "Advance, go, march round the city." When Joshua had spoken to the people, the 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets before the Lord went forwards, blowing their trumpets, and the ark of the Lord's covenant followed them. The armed guard marched ahead of the priests, who blew the trumpets, and the rear guard followed the ark. All this time, the trumpets were sounding. But Joshua had commanded the army, "Do not give a war cry. Do not raise your voices. Do not say a word until the day I tell you to shout. Then shout." So he had the ark of the Lord carried round the city, circling it once. Then the army returned to camp and spent the night there. Joshua got up early the next morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord. The 7 priests carrying the 7 trumpets went forwards, marching before the ark of the Lord and blowing the trumpets. The armed men went ahead of them, and the rear guard followed the ark of the Lord, while the trumpets kept sounding. So on the 2nd day, they marched round the city once and returned to the camp. They did this for 6 days. On the 7th day, they got up at daybreak and marched round the city 7 times in the same manner, except that on that day they circled the city 7 times. The 7th time round, when the priests sounded the trumpet blast, Joshua commanded the army, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city." The city and all that is in it are to be devoted to the Lord. Only Rahab and all who are with her in her house shall be spared, because she hid the spies we sent. When the trumpet sounded, the army shouted, "Yay!" And the sound of the trumpet, "Doo-doo-doo!" When the men gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed. Only Rahab's house was left standing.
Wow, wasn't that story amazing? Imagine having to be quiet all of those days, and then on the final day, after marching around 7 times, being able to make as much noise as you wanted to. And that must have been an incredible noise to see all those walls come tumbling down. Have you ever tried to build a really tall tower? You can use Duplo or Lego or any blocks you have around the house. You could even use cushions. Why don't you see with your family how tall you can build a tower to be? We've already started one here, so let's see how tall I can get it to be. So while you're building it, think of any walls that you've got in your life. And a wall can be anything that is making you unhappy. It could be illness, or being bullied, or really anything at all. And the amazing thing about God is when we shout our praises to Him and we declare Him over our lives, He listens and He can make those walls come tumbling down, just like I'm pretty sure these walls are going to come tumbling down soon. So if you want to, you can build a tower to symbolise whatever walls you have. And you can march around them just like they did with the walls of Jericho. And then you can shout as loud as you can and declare the Lord over your life. And see those walls come tumbling down. Oh, I don't think this is going to last much longer. We'll have to see. How tall did you manage to get your walls to be? As always, if you build a tower or do any of the crafts that we've looked at during the last few weeks in our series about praise, then we'd love to see a picture or a video, and you can send it to the email address we have listed below. We hope that you are healthy and that you are staying happy and that you're just enjoying being back in schools and life being a little bit more back to normal. Until next time, guys, bye!